Hello. Hello, 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 hello. We're back. Because earlier I did actually try to stream, but unfortunately, Magic had to update. And because it had to update, I couldn't play. But it's back now, so at least I assume it is. Seems to be working. So we're going to play some drafts. Where we left off, I was going over the deck before it told us that we weren't allowed to play very shortly. So we wasted some time in standard and got wrecked. That's fine, because here's the first deck for the day. Now we are playing GRN. I'd rather not, because my luck with GRN is a lot worse. By luck, I mean my decks are a lot worse. Mostly because I think GRN suffers from a case of a lot of the sort of power cards are all at the top end. They're all mythics and rares. Now, this isn't to say that you can't build a decent deck without them, but decks with them tend to just win, as long as they get to drop them. Whereas I've built decks with no rares and no mythics in Allegiances and gone 5 wins in BO3, or 5 sets. So, yeah, whereas I've never really had that great of a win streak, I guess, in GRN. But there you go. So the deck we built is I'm not forcing Boros. I just got 2 Swiftblade Vindicators from my packs, so why not? We've got Demotion, one of. It's not bad. It's good to push damage, especially against something that you can't kill with your creatures. Good for Battle, pretty solid. Just helps your guys push harder, especially for boosting mentor creatures up so they can mentor bigger things. Hunt's Witness, fine as a 1-drop. Goblin Banneret, same thing, fine 1-drop. Especially if you're trying to mentor. Goblin Banneret's pretty solid. 2 Fresh Face Recruits, not bad. 2-1 with First Strike for 2 is pretty good for getting the early damage in. Swiftblade Vindicators, really dank. Just got to get some buffs on them or something similar. And they just absolutely kick ass. It's amazing. Blade Instructor, again, another mentor. Good for, want it for the Swiftblade Vindicators more than anything. Sworn Companions, 2 of. I've got a couple of Convoke creatures in here, and you need bodies to be able to mentor onto. Sky Knight Legionnaire, it's just great. 2/2 flyer with haste, it means you can push more damage in. Call of the Culprit, I didn't want to run this, but I've got to have some removal, and toughness is what we actually want to hit, because big beefy creatures that we can't swing through we need to get rid of somehow. So there you go. 1 Inspiring Unicorn, really good stuff. Everything gets +1/+1. Just great, really. It's just great. Ledev Guardian, Convoke for a 2/4, pretty decent. I have no problems with this. Parhelion Patrol is a 2/3 Flying Vigilance Mentor. Now, a 2 power mentor is not amazing, but we have ways of buffing up the Parhelion Patrol so it can then mentor on bigger stuff, so that's good. Rob Beltball, pretty solid aggro card. I mean, 3/3 for 4 is not the worst in draft, but it does give a creature +2/+0, and that is amazing for Swiftblade Vindicators. Or just pushing damage in the air with like a Sky Knight Legionnaire or Parhelion Patrol. 2 Hammer Droppers, not the best card. I might actually cut one pre-play to put a Ledev Guardian in there. I think I probably will actually. I haven't like properly finished the deck, but I think I'll take a Hammer Dropper out for a Ledev Guardian. I just like the once you mentor these guys up, they're pretty awesome. Hammer Droppers though, they're a big mentor, but they die to basically everything in the set, which is a problem. But if your opponent has to block it with something, at least they'll go for 1/1 and give you a mentor, so they're not the worst. Barging Sergeant, much the same thing, dies to everything in the set, but at least it will get a trade and it will give you a mentor. So it's kind of a 1/1 thing. Hellkite Whelp, 3/3 flyer, 5, not bad. When it attacks, deals 1 damage to a creature, makes combat maths more awkward, and also is good for pinging out tokens on the Selesnya. Swathcut Giant, probably the best curve topper for Boros if you don't have like Aurelia. That sort of thing, because a 5/5 with Vigilance for 6 is a bit expensive, but whenever he attacks he deals 1 damage to each creature your opponent controls. So generally speaking he's going 2/1. And if he's not going 2/1, your other creatures are going to be able to punch way above their weight because you're just pinging everything for 1. And then finally we've got Flight of the Equinauts, which is a very expensive curve topper, but sometimes you can get it out on turn like 4 and it feels real good. So yeah, no probs. And we've gone with 9 plains and 8 mountains because we didn't get any guild gates. So there you go. We're going to run with that and see how many wins we can get. And hopefully we can get enough gems from this that I can bag another draft. And I will not be playing any more Allegiance drafts, despite the fact that my Allegiance drafts are going out or going very, very well. I kind of want to save the gems for when War of the Spark comes out so I can play their drafts, because I am hyped for that set. Although I could just play more Allegiances. But that's something we'll worry about later, because we're going to play some GRN draft. So we'll start things off. No white mana sucks. I think I'll probably mull this. It's an alright hand, but we've got a double white card in hand and no white mana to be seen, so I don't have any proper fixing, so I think I'll just mull. Which does feel real bad, but we need a better curve than not playing anything till turn 3. This is also not very good, but we'll keep it. We'll put Swarm Companions at the bottom. We do get the draw, which is helpful. Oh, Swiftblade Vindicator off the top. That's what we want to see. Fresh Face Recruit is fine. Now we just need land. We need land, 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 and land. If we can get land, we can drop Lead of Guardian, which is good. This might get disappeared. I doubt it, but you never know. Our opponent is playing Dimir, which is objectively the best guild to play in Guilds of Ravnica. I just had no options for good Dimir cards, so... a 3 mana 1-for-1 discard is not very good. So... I would probably take the Ledev Guardian here, but maybe he's playing for the late game and gets rid of the Swathcut Giant. Now, because I'd rather have more creatures on board, I am actually just going to convoke the Ledev Guardian out. Hopefully this isn't removal. It could very well be removal. Although 1 black removal is not... I haven't played GRN in a while, so I don't know exactly what's in the draft, but... which is probably to my disadvantage. Like, Allegiances, I could roughly guess what my opponent would be playing every turn based on their colours, but GRN I've kind of forgotten. An Ocean Rain, that's fine. That means we'll get at least another 4 damage in. A Sky Knight Legionnaire would be great right now. If our opponent can get a Ritual of Soot out, we're going to feel real bad, but could be worse. We can get a Rob Belt Boar. That's pretty good. Well, you can't 1 mana counterspell this, so... let's put it on the first striker. So even if we draw land, we don't feel bad because we get closer to playing Swathcut Giant, so I don't mind drawing land for 2 turns. Because we can hold up Call of the Culprit. Which our opponent does know that we have, so they'll probably try and avoid dropping a creature. Ritual of Soot's less bad now because it only kills the fresh-faced recruit. Okay, Flight of the Equinauts is good. We're going to hold the boar back because I'd rather not trade it for Bartesian Bats. So we'll just go in like this. Okay, so we're going to get a good 4 damage in. And if our opponent tries to drop a big blocker, we can Call the Culprit it. If we draw land, we can drop Flight of the Equinauts, which is great. Never happened. Okay, what's he gonna take? Call the Culprit, okay. So he's planning on dropping a fairly decently sized blocker, I should have thought. Right. I will preference convoke the Flight of the Equinauts out, because my opponent will have to roll removal into this. He might have a Disdainful Stroke. This is possible. I actually do like running main board Disdainful Stroke in GRN Draft, because you can just get rid of some, like, most of the power cards are going to be 4 mana and up, so you can just hold that in your hand and just 2 mana, just remove one of their biggest bombs. But I think we're pretty good right now. If I swing all, Bats has to block the Flight of the Equinauts. He may run the 5 mana destroy target creature, or he might have Price of Fame. So he could have some destroy creatures here. A Doom Whisperer. That's pretty bad. That is pretty bad for us, I would say. If we could get a Demotion, if we could top deck Demotion, that would be great. Getting land wouldn't be the worst, because we could swing with Swathcut Giant. Companions is not particularly exciting. Now, we haven't got any direct damage, but I kind of don't want to give my opponent a chance to respond. If I swing all, he's going to go Doom Whisper into Equinauts. He'll go Bats into Rubblebelt Boar, and I go through for 4, which is not really enough. So unfortunately we can't swing, because it's just too risky. We lose too much, and we're relying on a top deck to save us. So I kind of need to get the Swathcut Giant down, because then at least we'll get some good trades. I'm expecting some sort of removal to come through at some point. Now, if he decides to swing with the Doom Whisperer, we'll just let it through. I don't think he'll do that, but you never know. Doom Whisperer, man. Doom Whisperer in Draft. Feels bad. Feels pretty bad. Deadly Visit, yeah, okay. So he may swing for 9, but he'll die. So he may swing with the Doom Whisperer and just block with Bats. We'd still go through for 5, probably. I'm thinking he's got land in hand, but he doesn't want to play it. Well, there's the Swathcut Giant, so if he hasn't got more removal for this, we're in a good spot. If he has got more removal for it, we're going to feel quite bad. No attacks. Unfortunately, I don't have something like a Cosmotronic Wave to just give us that little bit of extra push. A Barging Sergeant would be fantastic right now. Off the top. Yeah, if our opponent can play a creature, fair enough. But if they can't play removal, we're going to have a very, very strong attack next turn. Because we can get rid of the Bartesian Bats with the Swathcutter Giant. And the Doom Whisperer will die if it blocks the Swathcutter Giant. And if he doesn't block the Swathcutter Giant, he'll take 5 at least. So... Night Veil Predator, okay. Now, do we swing all? I think we go through for quite a lot of damage if we just swing all. Especially if we draw some haste. If we draw some haste off the top, that's going to be a minimum of 2. Swinging with the bats, I mean, fair enough, it can't block, so you might as well go through for 3. So he'll block Swathcutter Giant and the Boar, which means we go through for 6. He'll lose the Night Veil Predator, but he'll keep the Doom Whisperer. So the best things we could draw is we draw haste. If we draw either of our haste creatures, we win. If we draw demotion, we win. So we've got 3 cards in the deck that mean we win automatically. If we can draw Maniacal Rage, Hellkite Whelp's pretty good. It's not enough, but I think we're safe swinging because we'll get enough damage through that it's worth it. Unless he's got another dazzling... If he's got another dazzling lights, this is going to be quite bad for us. But at the very least, Night Veil Predator is going to die with whatever it trades with. Unless he chumps in front of a 1-1. But if he does that, he's taking more damage. So what's he going to put in front of what? Night Veil Predator in front of the Swathcutter. Unless he wants to put Doom Whisperer in front of the Swathcutter, and then... Dazzling Lights. The Hellkite Whelp isn't attacking, my friend. The Hellkite Whelp's not attacking. Concede. Right. He could have survived there. He could have survived there. But I think we had too many creatures on board. He wasn't able to come back. So that was a fair enough first game. Not the best first game. We had a pretty slow curve. The deck can be very fast. Obviously, you can like turn 1 Banneret into like turn 2 Vindicator. Turn 3 you can pump the Banneret, get the Vindicator up to a 2/2 and swing for 7, which is pretty powerful. Or at least trade with creatures. Jeremy Cruncher. Okay. Hand seems fine. I don't like having the Equinauts in hand, but we do get an extra draw. Vicious Rumours. Gotta discard a card. I'm actually just going to discard the Equinauts because it's too risky. Vindicator is fantastic. That gives us a 2-drop. Vicious Rumours, I think, is a little... Gateway Plaza, okay. So our opponent's going to have no response to what we're doing. I am some white mana off playing the Inspiring Unicorn, which does suck. But, okay. I would rather drop a second Vindicator, I think. Yeah. Opponent might have a Sinister Sabotage. Okay, he does. But he only counted a 1-1. So that's something we need to keep in mind. He did only take out a 1-1. I mean, yes, Swiftblade Vindicator is very dangerous if it gets buffed up. If it gets buffed up, it's crazy. Goblin Banneret. I think I want to drop the Banneret, but I can't put anything else out on the board if I do that. But I do want to have the Mentor option, so we're just going to pass. Hopefully our opponent hasn't got too many big blockers. Mephitic Vapors. Okay, so that's pretty bad for us. If we can get the Hellkite Whelp down or the boar down, then we're in a decent enough spot. Okay, so we can drop the boar. Okay, I think I'll drop the Sky Knight Legionnaire first. Because then the boar can buff the Sky Knight Legionnaire and then that trades with the Drake. We're not looking very sharp here though, this is not looking good. Our opponent can filter for a card with, he can discard land to Radical Idea. That's a lot of Surveil. That is a lot of Surveil. Notion Rain? Okay. Okay, so his hand's not fantastic. We're gonna drop the Hellkite Whelp. And if our opponent's probably got removal for it, but we'll see what we can do. That's a lot of land. I'm surprised he didn't just discard the land to Radical Idea, to be honest. He doesn't need that much land. Unless he's planning on double casting something this turn. I'm going to keep that up in case he's got discard. And we're just going to play the Sky Knight Legionnaire and swing. Because that means either the Sky Knight Legionnaire or the Hellkite Whelp will trade. With the Muse Drake. What could he have that flashes onto the board? I can't think of any flash creatures, so... If he bounces the Sky Knight Legionnaire, we can play it again, so it's not too bad. Artful Takedown, okay. That is a very strange choice of targets for Artful Takedown, to be honest. I don't know why he chose to hit the Sky Knight Legionnaire with that. And why is he still playing all his land? Like, Capture Sphere. Okay, that's irritating, that is. So, I think we'll drop the Unicorn and then Rubble Ball the Unicorn. Has our opponent got another counter spell for this? He does, okay. Right, so we're top decking against him. If we can find a big creature like a Swathcut Giant, will be good. If we find things like Hunted Witnesses, we'll feel real bad. Night Veil Predator is pretty bad for us, not gonna lie. That is quite bad. That's a Hunted Witness, which is exactly what we didn't want to see. I will drop a Mountain. However, at least with the Rubber Belt Ball, the Hunted Witness will get a trade. Or our opponent will just go face and not worry about blocking. Okay. Is he going to counter this as well? He's not, okay. Now I can't actually target the Night Veil Predator with the motion, which sucks, but... What is our opponent holding? Barrier of Bones? Okay. He's just trying to race us. Okay. Which, to be honest, will probably work. So... I'm just thinking of how we can do this. Well, I don't want to use the demotion on a Barrier of Bones, but... Whisper Agent. Whisper Agent's going to trade with the Boar. No, it's going to trade with the Witness. Okay, well that gives me a lifelinker. This is pretty bad, though. Muse Drake, yep. You just keep playing those flyers, my friend. I'm gonna have to block, because otherwise we're on a... I mean, that didn't extend the clock, per se. No, we're just dead. Yep. Just got held off the board for far too long, and just nothing to follow it up. GRN Drafts. I hope in my next draft I'll be able to draft Dimir, because Dimir is really good, and the other guilds are a bit eh. Unless you draw certain cards. Like, Selesnya is okay, all you need to do is draft, like, 5 Rosemane Centaurs, and then just keep going face. That tends to work quite well. Boros can work if you get a good curve, which this deck should have. And we were curving well, but he Mephitic Vapored us, which, to be honest, is not a card I would ever run, normally. Yes, it works against tokens, but the token game is not... Like, even though Selesnya is all about tokens, the token game is not actually that good. So, this is a very strong opening hand. It would have been made better if we had, like, a Hunted Witness or something, but it's Pilfering Imp. So we're just going to drop the Vindicator. So we're going to follow Vindicator with Companions, and then we're going to convoke out a Lead of Guardian, and then we'll hopefully be able to drop Hellkite Whelp. Now, he might have Dazzling Lights, or he might just sack the Imp. Okay, he's just going to sack the Imp. What will he take? He might take the Sworn Companions to keep us off curve. No, he just took the Hellkite Whelp. Okay. So he may have Mephitic Vapors. Hopefully he doesn't. Notion Rain. That's quite good for us, actually, because it means he's digging and hurting himself. Devious Cover-Up. Okay, so we're going to drop the Hunted Witness, and then we're going to use the Hunted Witness to convoke out the Lead Guardian. So he's dead in 2 turns, and even if he plays a blocker, we can demote it, so we can still swing for quite a lot. Necrolisk, yep, cool. So we're just gonna... I think we're gonna drop the Unicorn and just swing with everything. Because he can block the Vindicator if he wants. Okay, so we still go through for quite a lot of damage. And then we can get a good demotion in on his biggest blocker. So if he's got a bigger blocker, he might not. But if he's got removal, he would use it on the Inspiring Unicorn. A Dimir Informant, okay. Okay, has he got any more tricks? I think he's just got the mana to buff Undercity Necrolisk up. Right, so we're just going to demote the Necrolisk and just go face. I think that's GG. Yep. Okay. And that's how you Boros. That is how you Boros. And we're now in the silver rank. Cool. I don't know why the rank isn't for traditional, but if it was, I'd probably be in platinum or higher at this point. But hey ho, what can you do? So not a bad game. Not a bad game. Just gotta get that early curve. This hand is sad. This hand is also sad, but we kind of have to keep it. That's better. That's better. So we can actually get a pretty hench Swiftblade Vindicator out, and if our opponent hasn't got removal for it immediately, it's going to spiral like ridiculously out of control. and just kill him in like 3 hits. So we're going to drop a Blade Instructor. Just swing. Dimir Locket. Okay, so he really hasn't got anything. We're going to drop the Ledev Guardian and just use the I could have girded for battle this turn, but I'd rather hold it so my opponent isn't sure that we've got the extra damage. He's playing Sultai. Okay. That's interesting. Erstwhile Trooper. Well, we don't care about Erstwhile Trooper. So what we're going to do is we're going to just gird for battle on Swiftblade Vindicator twice. And maybe the Blade Instructor, actually. I just... Because the Blade Instructor is going to buff the Ledev Guardian, so it can't die. So I think we're just going to buff the Swiftblade Vindicator twice. Oh, yeah. Wait, what? That did not do what I expected it to do. It says... Put a 1/1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. So would it not put both on... Oh, I guess it doesn't put both on one. Well, I guess we're still swinging then. So he's got to trade... He's got to discard a creature. And he has to trade Erstwhile Trooper for the Swiftblade Vindicator. Right. No, he's not. Okay. Discards an Iron Shell Beetle. So he's got to have removal here. He's got to have removal for 2 creatures, or he has to have a creature to play and removal. Because otherwise we'll just swing past him with one of our 3 damage creatures. Like, what could he have? He could have a Connive Concoct. That would be pretty bad. Connive doesn't hit anything, but Concoct could get something... Oh, okay, or not. So, yep. Basically just screwed up. I mean, I screwed up. I did not deserve to win that. But now I know that gird for battle, you have to target 2 creatures. Which I could have done. I could have targeted Swiftblade Vindicator and the Mentor. And then just put the Mentor trigger on the Swiftblade Vindicator. And he would have had to block the Vindicator. Or the Mentor, else he would have just died instantly. This hand is very good. We've got enough mana to play the Swiftblades. We get an extra draw to find more mana to play Swarm Companions, Unicorn, or Boar. So we're actually in a really good spot here. As long as we can draw some land, we're in a very good spot. Even if we can't draw land, we can still get two Swiftblade Vindicators on the board. And getting an extra white mana's amazing. That was preferable for the Inspiring Unicorn. Opponent doesn't have any more mana. Or he's playing at second main. He's gonna... I'm sure he's got combat trick, so I'm not gonna play into a combat trick like that. What's he got? Nothing. Okay, right. So we're gonna drop. I think. Do we want Swarm Companions? Not yet. I think actually we're gonna go for the. I think we're gonna go for the Skynet Legionnaire. Just push some damage. What's he got? Okay, that's a very expensive way to remove a Swiftblade Vindicator, but it feels good that we managed to save our yeah, we saved our second Swiftblade Vindicator. So I'm going to drop the Hammer Dropper because he basically has to keep the Skyline Scout back. Because if he doesn't, the Hammer Dropper is going to crush him for 5 damage. Rubble Belt Bore, okay. Gonna swing for 4? No? Okay. So I think here we want to drop the Vindicator and the Sworn Companions. And we're just going to swing. So Hammer Dropper's going to get a counter on the Skynet Legionnaire. He's going to lose a creature to blocking the Hammer Dropper. So just continuously apply pressure. If he can't drop a creature with more than 3 toughness, then Swiftblade Vindicator is going to get some amazing trades. Another Skyline Scout doesn't do it. He's going to swing with the ball. He's not swinging with the ball. Parhelion Patrol. We're going to drop the Unicorn. We're just going to swing with the Legionnaire. And we're just going to set up a kill next turn. Okay, so we're just going to swing with the Legionnaire. What has our opponent got? He's going to have to drop something pretty scary. Because our Swiftblade Vindicator is going to go up to a 4-2 with Double Strike and Trample. So he's going to have to throw a lot of stuff under the bus. Oh, okay, so he's going to Conclave Tribunal the... Not the right card. Huh. Well, that feels real good. So we're just going to kill him? Basically. So we're just going to swing with everything. Our opponent's going to feel real sad about life. Because if he blocks with the Boar and the Scout, the Swiftblade Vindicator kills them both and still goes through for 4. So he's probably going to put the Scout in front of the Vindicator and still take 7. No, he's just dead. He's just dead. There's no way he can survive this unless his 1 mana spell is a righteous blow. If it... Take Heart. Okay, fair enough. That actually might save him. So he's still going to take 5 plus another 3. Oh no, he's just still dead. Yeah, still dead. Swiftblade Vindicator is a good card in draft. Can confirm. Big stand. 4 wins is actually quite good. I wasn't expecting it. I want to get enough gems, really, so I want to get 5 wins. I mean, obviously, ideally, I get 7, but... I'll be right back. 1 sec. Okie dokie, and we're back. Let's see. Let's just start up another game. And for those of you watching on YouTube, I hope you enjoyed the drafts. They'll all be going up sooner or later. I have to do a lot of editing. I've still got my Warband streams I need to edit down and actually post, but I've actually got to finish Warbands first. It's going to take a while. And it's going to be such a slog. I'll have to think about that because there's some games coming out in March that I'll be playing for the channel as well. So yeah, That might be a long-term project. I mean, apparently Bannerlord's not coming out anytime soon, so might as well make it a long-term project. Apparently nobody's playing the Guilds of Ravnica draft, which is not a huge surprise. I much prefer allegiances, and that's not just because I like the win rate. This hand's a bit slow, but it does work, I guess. We've got all the mana. We've got the colours we need. We just got to have like a curve. Unicorn is not a curve, but it is a card. It's quite a good card, I will say so. Unfortunately, if we can't play anything against, is it? Okay, well, we can get a Vindicator out, which is good. That's a good start. That is a pretty good start. Enhanced Surveillance. So they're playing Grixis? I guess they're playing Grixis. Now that does feel pretty bad. But we can get a Lead of Guardian out, so that's fine. We've got to draw some land, or else we're going to be in a sad spot. Unfortunately, the Capture Sphere stops us from even tapping the Vindicator for mana. Muse Drake is not that worrying. There's mana. That's good. We're going to drop the Unicorn. If our opponent hasn't got removal for it, then we're going to get a very good attack, because the Muse Drake is not going to be strong enough to block that. We will not attack because there's literally no point. Another Muse Drake. So our opponent's digging. Maybe they've got some sort of combo that they're planning on using. We're just going to drop the Hellkite Whelp. And we're going to swing with the Lead of Guardian and the Unicorn. If our opponent's got a Sure Strike, we feel pretty bad. But it could be worse. He could also just choose to take 6. That is also an option. I'm thinking he's probably got a Sure Strike. He's got Invert. I see. So he's going to get a trade on the Unicorn. That's fine. That's fine. That was 2 for 1, so I'll take that. I mean, technically, the Drake did draw him a card, so... Barging Sergeant. Huh. Now, I could just play Flight of the Equinauts. Flight of Equinauts, not of the Equinauts, but, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. We'll play Equinauts. I think having a 4/5 flyer is going to be pretty good. And we're going to swing with the Drake, the Whelp, rather. If our opponent has another Invert, it's not going to do anything. Nope, so we just go through for 3, which is good. So he's surveilling for 4. He surveils 3 cards into the bin. What's he digging for? I bet you he's got like a Niv Mizzet or something. Or not. He just shuffled like land back into his deck. I'm going to Rubble Belt Boar onto the Guardian. And then we're going to put counters on Equinauts and Whelp. And we're just going to swing with these. I think we'll also swing with 1/1s. Actually no, they'll just get killed, so we'll just swing with that. And we're going to ping down the... We'll ping down the Barging Sergeant. It doesn't really make a difference. He'll trade it with the Lead of Guardian, but... I thought he might be digging for a Niv Mizzet. I thought he might be doing that. So we're going to drop the Parhelion Patrol. We're not going to drop the Fresh Face Recruit because it just dies to Niv Mizzet. Although, do we care? Maybe not. We just do it anyway. We're going to swing with both of these. Actually, no, we'll just swing with everything. We'll present lethal. In fact, is he just dead? I think he might just be dead. He has to block Flight of the Equinauts now. Yeah. He would be on 1 life, so that's a GG. Okay, we're up to 5 wins. That's perfect. That's exactly where we want it to be. This hand is fine. I'll keep that. Maybe get some early damage in with the Face Recruit. We could good for battle 2 of the Face Recruits. That would be pretty good. Opponent opens the Pass Wall Adept. Okay. We're going to play a Lead of Guardian. The reason for this is, if we attack with a Fresh Face Recruit, he can double block. The Spinal Centipede dies to the Face Recruit in first strike phase. The trigger then goes on the stack. He puts the counter on the Pass Wall Adept that then kills the Fresh Face Recruit. So, we do not want that to happen. I think we will just keep chucking stuff on the board. And we're going to gird the 2 recruits up. If they swing, they're pretty scary. We're not going to attack yet, though. I want to get Flight of the Equinauts out. Or Flight of Equinauts. I don't know why I keep calling it Flight of the Equinauts, but it just... I don't know. Maybe it's the card art. Just, that's what it's like to me. So... if he's got removal, I'm not sure what he'll use it on. Probably a Face Recruit. Deadweight? Yeah, okay, that feels bad. That does feel pretty bad. But once we get a Hellkite Whelp out, or the Flight of Equinauts, we can just start hitting our opponent in the air. Has he got Counterspell? Not necessarily. We're not going to attack. Our opponent's got quite a strong early creature curve, which is normally not what you see with Dimir players. Is he going to counter Flight of Equinauts? Yes, he will. Devious Cover-Up. Okay, so he was holding up Devious Cover-Up. Okay, I'm going to swing. I'm just going to ping the Necrolisk. It doesn't really matter. He might have 5 mana removal here. Enhanced Surveillance, okay, that's not so bad. That doesn't really do anything just yet. He hasn't got enough blue mana up to cast Counterspell. He could counter with Disdainful Stroke. Okay. So Hammer Dropper will probably mentor onto the Ledev Guardian. We will swing everything next turn, unless he drops a creature that I'm worried about. And we will mentor onto the Ledev Guardian, I think. Okay, there's Parhelion Patrol, it's perfect. I kind of want to wait until I can mentor the Parhelion Patrol, but I think I might do that. There's no need to swing. I don't think our opponent's going to make any gains. As it stands, he's not really playing anything just yet. Has he got 5 mana instant speed removal? 4 mana instant speed removal? He's going to Price of Fame the Parhelion Patrol. That's interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to swing with everything. We're going to mental the Ledev Guardian. Hellkite Whelp is going to ping the Necrolisk. And basically, he's going to get bad trades. I would talk about the combat maths behind this, but so we're going to mental Ledev Guardian. So basically, Ledev Guardian or Fresh Face Recruit kill whatever they block. If he puts the +1/+1 counter onto the Necrolisk still dies to whatever it blocks. If he puts the counter on the Passable Adept still dies to the Hammer Dropper. So basically, he gets bad trades. That is the long and short of this. Unless he's got a Dazzling Lights in hand, he could also sack something to the Necrolisk, but then he's still getting bad trades. So, for example, he could Spinal Centipede, block the Hammer Dropper, and then he could sack the Passable Adept to the Necrolisk, but he's not going to do that. Instead, he's just going to let the Centipede die. He's going to put the counter on the Necrolisk, and we're still going to be able to kill him in 2 turns. So he's on a 2-turn clock now to get rid of the Hellkite Whelp. We're still going to swing with everything, as long as the Hellkite Whelp isn't killed. Hey, the Hellkite Whelp was killed. So unfortunately he's now on 8 and has a 4/4. Boar is pretty good though. Has he got a Counterspell in hand? So we're going to put the damage on the Fresh Face Recruit. I'm going to swing with them both because we're presenting lethal. So he has to have something to deal with this. Otherwise he has to block. And we go through for 5. Which means that if he hasn't got another creature to play, he has to play 2 creatures and a piece of removal. Or, well, 2 creatures or a piece of removal and a creature. He can't because he's only got a swamp. He plays a lot less giant, so he still dies to the fact that we have too many creatures. So it's GG. Good game, and we'll just swing all. There we go. Doing pretty good. Doing very good. I was not expecting this deck to do this well. But maybe people haven't played GRN Drafts in a while. To be honest, we haven't had a GRN Draft in a long time. And maybe they've forgotten how aggressive GRN actually is. I feel GRN's a lot more aggressive than Allegiances. Or maybe not more aggressive, but I think the creatures certainly tend to a more aggressive playstyle. Because both Orzhov and Azorius are in Allegiances, both of those are guilds that tend to have quite high toughness creatures. This is not a good hand, so we're going to mull that. This is a better hand. Our Swiftblade Vindicator can get some pretty good... I'm going to actually bottom the Barging Sergeant, because I don't think I want him right now. He's not... yes, he's good to mentor onto the Swiftblade Vindicator, but by the time he comes out, it's going to be like our opponent's going to have creatures in play. So, yeah. Deadweight, okay, so we lose our Vindicator. Let's just drop a Hunted Witness. And just pass. A Veiled Shade. We're going to drop a Lead of Guardian. And we're not going to play the Demotion. I'm going to save the Demotion for a stronger creature that we're more worried about. For example, a Lot Less Giant, or Dowser of Lights, or something like that. Bartesian Bats is fine. We don't care about those. We're 1 mana off playing the Giant. We could demote the Veiled Shade, which basically makes it a vanilla 2/2, and it can only attack. He can't pump it in any way. But I think we're just going to hold on that, because the bats die to the Giant, so... Swing with the Shade and the bats. We're going to have no blocks there. He's not going to pump, obviously. He's just sort of threatening the pump. Dowser of Lights, there we go. That's what we didn't want to see. We're going to drop the Swathcutter Giant first. No attacks. If our opponent's got removal, we feel bad, but that's just what we're going to do. He has got removal. Okay, so we do feel very bad right now. What would save us? Hellkite Whelp top deck would be pretty good. For sure. Barret Bones is a bit we're not bothered by. He wants to keep whatever he's got on top, so we're taking mad damage. Unicorn's not bad, but it's also not great. Demotion doesn't really do anything. I think we're going to demote the Veiled Shade so he can't pump it up. Demoting the Dowser of Lights doesn't really do anything at this stage. Okay, so we're going to let Guardian into that and this into the Dowser. He can't pump the Veiled Shade. I think he forgot about that, so we got a free trade there, which is quite good. Erstwhile Trooper is fine. It's a vanilla 2/2 unless he's got a creature in hand. We are pretty close to dying, but we're just going to have to pass. There's no point swinging into this because it doesn't achieve anything. Aside from us being killed. Yeah. Right, so we're going to put Lead of Guardian in front of the Erstwhile Trooper, and the 1/1 in front of the 4/5. Has he got a creature in hand? He doesn't. Sky Knight Legionnaire is actually perfect. That's exactly what we needed. Just go pass. So we can block the Butties and Bats unless he's got a piece of removal. He's got Undercity Uprising. Okay. So we're dead. There you go. Well, we tried. It was not actually that bad of a game. We got pretty close to being able to stabilize, but just not close enough. This is a pretty good curve, I won't lie. I am very pleased with this. This is exactly what we wanted to see. Our opponent's got tap land to open with, so we're going to get a good 1 damage in now, and probably 3 damage or more on the next turn. Glowspore Shaman is fine. Does he want to put a swamp on top? He does, okay. Got a Goblin Banneret, which is nice. I think what we're going to do is we're going to go for battle the Hunted Witness and the Fresh Face Recruit. And we're going to swing with the Face Recruit, but not the Hunted Witness, because we can pump him up with the Goblin Banneret even more. Roll Belt Ball. Okay, we're just going to go to combat. I don't know why that didn't work, but I guess I needed to do it before I declared attackers. Whoops. I guess I missed 1 damage there and a counter on the Hunted Witness. Rhizome Lurcher. That's not a problem, actually. As long as we can draw land, that's not actually a problem. Another Rhizome Lurcher. Okay, so we're going to drop the Parhelion Patrol first. No attacks. Then we're going to drop the Flight of Equinauts, and then we're going to drop the Boar. So we're going to just try and out... Okay, so we're not going to be able to do that. Will our opponent swing? He might swing with 1 Rhizome Lurcher, which I guess we're okay with. Okay, so we're still going to drop the Flight of Equinauts, because they trade with the Rhizome Lurchers quite nicely. And if our opponent hasn't got removal for them, then that's good, because we can just start hitting our opponent to death in the air. The Karen Dissident is fine. So we're not going to play the planes, we're just going to drop the ball. And we're going to put the +2/+0 on... I think we're going to put it on the Face Recruit. So the Face Recruit's going to at least get a trade. If he chooses not to block, we just kill him with the Flight of Equinauts next turn. So he's double blocking into the Face Recruit. So we're going to block the Rhizome Lurcher first. We're going to kill that, which is a pretty good trade for us. Necrotic Wound. Wow. Okay. That is pretty bad. That is a pretty decent piece of removal if you're going creature heavy, so I can see that's why he surveilled those 2 creatures into the bin. Golgari Raiders, 5/5 with haste. We're just drawing land. Okay, so we need something. Barging Sergeant would be pretty good. We're not going to block that. What's our opponent got? An Erstwhile Trooper, that's fine, they're pretty vanilla. And another Dev Karen Dissident. And we're just drawing land. So I think we're going to lose this because we just draw land and our opponent's got fucking gas for days. No blocks, because we're not dead yet. Opponent's got more gas. Yeah, there's another deadly visit. So this is GG. There's nothing we can draw here that actually wins us the game. Yeah, another Swiftblade Vindicator is going to do it. Well, 6 wins. That's what we're going to get on that draft, which is more than enough. I'm quite pleased with that. Not bad if I say so myself. Let's crack that pack open. What did we get? Trostani Discordant. Nice, nice. Good that I don't have, or I now have more Trostanis. Let's just draft another. Why not? 5,000 gold, please. Okie dokie. Pack 1, pick 1. Drown Secrets. Yeah, no thanks. What else have we got? Dowser of Lights is very good. Very, very good. I think I'll probably first pick the Dowser. Thought Erasure's fine. Not so great in draft, but it's fine. Cruel Harpooner's quite good as well. Cruel Harpooner is one of the only ways to deal with flyers. I think Cruel Harpoon is fine. We may end up playing Sultai. It's quite possible. Boros Challenger, damn, that's a good one. Notion Rain and Skyknight Legionnaire. I think we'll take the Notion Rain and look at playing some Sultai. Troopfire Captain, damn. Some good cards. Not seeing a great deal of Sultai though that we care about. Bartesian Bats is fine as a flyer. Let's see what we've got here. Bigger Spore Worm. Not really. Boros is looking pretty open. Centipede is fine. 3 mana, 3/2 puts counters on things. But I think, do we want another Bats? Bats, we'll probably get an option for more Bats. I think we'll take the Centipede since it trades quite nicely with things. Artifacts and enchantments aren't an issue in this, generally speaking. So I think we'll take a Gateway Plaza for fixing. I think that's probably a smart idea. That gives us more options. And Rhizome Lurchers are good though. Yeah, it's better to pick creatures for now. We'll probably get a chance for more gates in a little while. Hitchclaw Recluse we don't care about. Circuitous Route can be fine. But I think Gateway Plaza is probably better. I don't want to be spending a turn playing Ramp when I could just play more creatures. Probably Golgari Raiders, but they can be a dead card. Wall of Mist is not exciting though, so I guess Golgari Raiders is fine. I suppose a Devious Cover-Up isn't the worst thing in the world. Yeah, we'll take a Devious Cover-Up. Why not? Cruel Foragers is pretty good, so we'll take Cruel Foragers. Prey Upon. Prey Upon can be fine. Especially as for removing flyers. Barrier of Bones is but we'll take it. Bartesian Bats or a bigger Spore Worm. I think we'll take another Bats. Bats tends to be more reliable for getting damage in. We'll just take a Locket. And Urban Utopia. It's fixing that cycles itself, so it's not like the worst thing in the world. Ooh, an Experimental Frenzy. Murmuring Mystic. Golgari Findbroker. Well, Findbroker is dank. Just just like he is dank. So Indrik's pretty good as well. I think the Findbroker is probably the best one here, though. So we're gonna take the Findbroker. Severed Strands is fine. We haven't got any other pieces of removal. Artful Takedown tends to do what... It tends to be enough as far as removal goes. Taking 4 toughness tends to be enough. Gorgon's not terrible, but... Let's take Artful Takedown, I think. We don't have many low creature drops, so I don't want to... Whisper Agent is nice as a combat trick, and Surveilling is good too, so we'll take Whisper Agent. More Bats. I think we'll just take... I don't really want another Notion Rain. Silent Dart's actually alright. I think a lot of people underrate this card really highly. Like, it's very underrated. I think we'll take a Silent Dart. It's like, think about it like in Dominaria where you take a Blood Tallow Candle. It's basically that, but cheaper. It doesn't do as much damage, and it is damage, so, you know, but there's not very much indestructible in the set, so... I think we take a Crushing Canopy here. No, do we? It can be useful. It's nice to have one of, but I'll put it in the sideboard for now. We might not play it, but it is quite good. Oh, another Dowser of Lights is perfect. I don't like Erstwhile Trooper. I do like fixing, so we will take a Golgari Locket. Disdainful Stroke, I love to have one in the deck. Another Bat, which we probably won't play, so I'll sideboard it. Dissident is fine. Dissident's fine, creature. Do I want an Okapi? Not really. Root will make the deck more consistent, so I will take Circus Root. And I suppose here we will take Wary Okapi, because it's slightly better than the... And we'll just take a Locket for the sideboard. It does tap for green, so it's not the worst thing in the world. Vertebrae, I guess, but we're not playing it. Force for Reflection to the sideboard. Pelt Collector! We were rewarded. We were rewarded with a Pelt Collector this day, so we're going to take him. Cruel Swarm's actually quite good. Quite good. I don't know if we need it though, is the thing. We still don't have a huge amount of small creatures to get Severed Strands to be like super valid, but Prey Upon is quite good with Dowsers of Lights. They get very good trades, generally speaking. But I don't know if I want 2 Prey Upons. Do I just rare draft the Ionize? I'm sure I have 4 of these already. We'll rare draft it, why not? I don't really want anything in that pack, to be honest. Generous Strays for... Ooh, Undercity Uprising. Undercity Uprising is removal. And then there's a Rhizome Lurcher. I think we'll take the Undercity Uprising as a good piece of removal. Chance for Glory. Rare draft that, please. Invent. Burglar Rat. Burglar Rat's okay. It's a creature you can just chuck in the bin. Kind of works like a speed bump. It's not too bad. Do I take 7 strands though? I think we just... Do we take another Lurcher? We've got quite a strong creature base. Got a lot of 4-drops though. I don't like having those many 4-drops. I think we might just take the Rat, just so we have 2 drops in the deck. And it's not a bad one. Ooh, Ocarina Assassin. Ooh, now that's a good one. That's a good one, that is. Grappling Sunju's actually okay, but would I rather just get another Spinal Centipede? No, I think we'll take a Spinal Centipede. Centipede at least trades. Another Okapi? Yeah, sure, why not? Hide Poisoner. Hide Poisoner is quite good. We've got 2 bats already. We've got potentially 3 bats, so I think we'll take the Poisoner. 7 strands, why not? We just increased our lower curve minions. Generous Stray is a good sack outlet for that, and draws a card, so it's fine. What do we want here? Probably Hitchclaw Recluse. It's a good blocker, and we are playing for the late game. Basically, we're gonna, like, bog our opponent down with, like, big beefy creatures, and then... probably not gonna play that, but... So we're gonna bog our opponent down with big beefy creatures, and then drop a giant Rhizome Lurcher or 2, and then beat them to death. I think that's probably the plan. So let's take a look at our greens and such. Let's have a look at our Mythic Rares and Rares. Only the Pelt Collector, which is fine. What uncommons do we get? Oh, we'll take a look at our blues as well. I don't think we got a rare blue, did we? Oh, it was Iron Eyes, we don't care about that. Harpooner's good. I don't like Raiders as much. I do like Ocarina Assassin though. If you can buff Ocarina Assassin somehow, it's great. I don't know if we've got any way of buffing Ocarina Assassin, but it does also let you push for damage, is the thing. Now, if we don't end up playing blue, then I don't need to worry so much about having the Circuitous Route. Let's see, double Rhizome Lurch is good, Golgari Locket's good. Whisper Agent's fine anyway, because we're going to be running black, so I think we'll take the Whisper Agent. Dousers of Lights are excellent. Cruel Foragers are pretty good as a 4/4. What removal do we have? Not much. So if we were to take our removal, we're looking at Prey Upon, a 7 strands, possibly a Crushing Canopy, but maybe not. Undercity Uprising, and Artful Takedown. Would I splash blue for a Disdainful Stroke and a Notion Rain Artful Takedown? It's not the best way to splash. Could be worse. So if I were to do that, just as an example, we're looking at maybe running... Well, we're going to get the Gateway Plaza. Let me just chuck that in there now. So 6 more cards in the deck. If we do that, we probably, let's look at the curve. Gonna need some more 2-drops or 1-drops. Hired Poisoner is fine because it gets a good trade. Stray is fine because you can sack it. Rat is fine because it at least goes 1 for 1 and is a body that you can sack and do other things with. Now we've got turn 1 green drops, so I think we want another forest instead. It's probably better. Because we're not too bothered about hitting blue, we're only worried about hitting blue for Takedown, Notion Rain, and Disdainful Stroke, and those are all things we can play later in the game. 1 Urban Utopia might be okay, but it doesn't ramp, it just fixes. It's not a very good one either. It is 1 less card in the deck, mind you. Now, Devkaran Distant is fine, but it doesn't trade up particularly well. If we were to worry about our trading, I'd probably go for a Hitchclaw. Blocks quite nicely. Devkaran's good as a 2-drop, and then maybe a Spinal Centipede as well. It's probably what the deck's looking like. I could potentially take out, for example, the Artful Takedown. But it is a good piece of removal. And it can help you push that last bit of damage, so I think we'll probably... I think this seems fine. I could run the Silent Dart as well. Instead of... maybe Disdainful Stroke. What am I not particularly excited by? Probably Severed Strands, actually. No, I need hard removal. I need hard removal for something. Maybe I take out the Ocarina Assassin. Got no way of buffing the Ocarina Assassin. It's good for pushing damage in the late game, but I think we can just like wear our opponent out and then just beat them that way. I think we'll take the Silent Dart in there. 5 mana deal 3 damage does sound like it sucks, but to be honest, in this draft, removal is a bit premium. There is common removal, but it's all like 5 mana at sorcery speed, which is like eh. Doesn't even get very good single target removal, to be honest, and that's a red deck. But yeah, I think this is what we're going with. We'll pop we'll pop Feinberg. I think Feinberg's probably our best card. So this is going to be Sultai. It's like Lurching Dowsers or something. I don't know. I think that's fine. I think this is a fine deck. Should get a few wins at least. At least I hope so. Anyway, I'm going to go quickly make a cup of tea, then I'll be back to play this draft. What's the time, actually? It's almost 6 o'clock, right? I'll make a cup of tea, I'll be back to play this draft. After that, I may be ending the stream simply because I'll have to have something to eat. I might come back to play another one afterwards, but we'll see what I'm feeling like. So, let's go have some tea, and then we'll be back for a draft. Hello, Twitch. Hello. How many of you there are? We've got another draft ready to roll. So let's get right to it. Play away. Let's see how Sultai does. I haven't done much triple colour in GRN, to be honest. Maybe triple colour will end up being a lot stronger. Excellent. We got turn 1 Pelt Collector into turn 2 Dev Karen. That's a solid start. Should give us a lot of pressure. We can actually select our cards. Okay, so we're going to play a Swamp and then Dev Karen Distant. Smack our opponent in the face. Child of the Night, okay. We are going to drop Swamp Locket. And we will not swing. We're going to Gateway Plaza, tap our Swamp, and then we're going to Prey Upon. We're going to target Dev Karen Distant. We're going to fight the Pitless Gorgon. And we're just going to swing for 2. What has our opponent got? Bartesian Bats, okay. Well, we have got a Cruel Harpooner, which will pump the Pelt Collector again. We can't play anything else. But for the essence of wanting to be a bit more efficient, yes, I'll have Cruel Harpooner fight that. And because he's got 4 power, Pelt Collector goes up to a 4/4. We're not going to swing because Pelt Collector is going to trade with the Child of the Night. Another Bartesian Bats. Okay. What we will do here is we will drop the Dowser. Actually, no, let's drop the Golgari Finebroker. Grab our Cruel Harpooner. And then drop him to get rid of the Bartesian Bats. And then we will start swinging. Go Pelt Collector. Start getting work done. Oh, yes. Oh, Rhizome Lurcher at 5/5. That's a problem. Drop the Dowser of Lights. No attacks. We have answers to the Rhizome Lurcher, just got to find them. Oh, that's pretty bad. Well, it's not too bad actually. We can still trade with the Rhizome Lurcher if needs be. Okay, so we're actually going to draw with the Locket here first. Okay, Hitchclaw Recluse. It's fine. If the Spinal Centipede dies, it can pump the Dowser up into a 5/6, which is more than enough. Siege Worm. Ah, yes. That's not good. Do I take a double trade on that? I don't think I do. I think that's a bad idea. Now this I'm actually okay with. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flash in the Whisper Agent. I think that will allow us to get some solid trades. We don't want an island, so we're going to get rid of that. And we're going to put these two in front of the siege worm. We are looking pretty unhealthy though, which is not good. That's also not good. So we're almost dead. Almost. Not quite. Yeah, we're dead. We drew land, into land. Into land, and we are dead. If our opponent swings. But he doesn't look like he wants to right now. Yeah, but he does. And we just die. Because unfortunately we drew land for 3 turns. And that happens. Could have drawn any one of our fight cards. We could have drawn, you know, another creature that was, you know, another Dowser of Lights. Could have drawn a Rhizome Lurcher. Could have drawn Cruel Foragers. We had some big beefy boys still in the deck. We just couldn't find them. This hand seems fine. We're playing a slower game anyway, or slower-ish. Okay, so our opponent's playing Selesnya. Possibly. Yeah, they're playing Selesnya. Just going to try draw to find more mana. We found a Pelt Collector, which is not the worst thing in the world. Ledev Champion. Now, we want to get rid of that. So we're going to drop the Pelt Collector and the Silent Dart, I think. No. Let's drop the Hitch Claw, because it can block. He has to tap both of his creatures to go through for 4 damage. Has he got a combat trick? I think he does, so I'm not going to block. I'm just going to play the Silent Dart. And we'll hold up a Whisper Agent. Let's see what he wants to tap. Tapping out the Ledev has the Marshal. So we're going to drop the Whisper Agent. Pelt Collector gets buff. We do want more land because we can start playing the Dowsers then, so you go in front of that, you can go in front of that. So if he wants to keep the champion alive, he's going to play his combat trick on the champion. Yep, take heart. Which means Pelt Collector now goes up to a 3/3, and we can just simply blow up the Ledev champion if we want. Which I think is probably a good idea. So we're just going to sack the dart and kill the Ledev champion before he has a chance to respond to it. And there's no point swinging, so we won't. Our opponent is stuck on 3 mana. So he's going to Conclave Tribunal the Pelt Collector. We have an island. We can't play both. So my opponent can't swing through, so I think we're just going to wait, hold up the Disdainful Stroke in case our opponent manages to draw some more land. He does. But what does he have? Parhelion Patrol. We've got Reach, so we don't care about that so much, so we're going to let that go through. Devkaran Distant is fine, we can actually pump that up, so that's good stuff. We can't do it this turn, but we can in general. Has our opponent got a more powerful 4-drop? Candlelight Vigil. 3-2 in Vigilance. I don't want him to have that, so we're gonna Disdainful Stroke that. It feels like a little bit of a waste, but I don't want him buffing that up. He's going to swing with anything else. No, he's not. So I'm just going to block that with the Pitch Claw. Nothing happens. Alright, let's drop a Dowser of Lights. Pass. Opponent's got more mana or just more 4 stuff? His hand's probably full of 4-drop kind of enchantments and things. So, go for battle. Okay, so we're going to drop another Dowser of Lights. We're going to Severed Strands. We're going to target the Parhelion Patrol and sack the Generous Stray. Okay. We are going to swing with 1 Dowser of Lights. He can't give the Grappling Sundrew indestructible, so we can swing through with impunity. Now we can start swinging with the Devkaran Dissident, and it's going to be pretty. It's going to be a 4/4, so it'll swing through anything that he's got. Flower is fine because it means he's still on just 4 mana, so I'm expecting some 5 mana creatures to come out next turn. Another Parhelion Patrol is absolutely fine. Locket, we are just going to crack next turn because we don't have quite enough mana for it. But we are going to swing with all these boys. He can double block. I'm just going to pump up the Devkaran Distant and trade. So opponent making some poor trades there. 6 mana, what's he got? Cruel Harpooner. Okay, that doesn't actually do anything, so that's fine. And what else has he got? He might have Sprouting Renewal and just destroy the Locket. Crush Contraband, okay, so that's an interesting inclusion. I don't like that in the main deck. As a sideboard card, if it was BO3, then sure. So again, we're just going to swing with all of our creatures. We're going to pump up the Devkaran Distant again. Free trade. And this should be game. Yep. Cool. So, pretty good. Pretty good there. That's more of how I expect this deck to play. Sort of bog the board down and then just attrition your opponent out with value creatures. This hand has no black mana, so we're going to mulligan that. This hand is better. Not good, but it's better. I don't like the Artful Takedown in my opening hand. I prefer the Artful Takedown in my opening hand. And I will hold that blue mana back so he's not sure what we've got. Glowspore Shaman. Now that's a problem, that is. Oh, find Finality and an Ocaran Assassin. We're gonna just chuck the Harpooner down. It's not a good trade, but it is a trade, and I will take it. I don't mind putting my creatures in the bin as much as he doesn't mind. Erstwhile Trooper. He's going to swing. He is going to swing. We'll just take that. I do not want to drop the Rhizome Lurcher as a 3-3. That's a total waste, especially since our plan relies on the Rhizome Lurcher being one of our big beatdown sticks as the game progresses. Portcullis Vine is fine. He can't tap it to draw cards just yet. Here we're going to take 2, which is fine. And we will drop ourselves a Dowser of Light. Our opponent now knows that we're playing Sultai, but they don't know what blue cards we could have in the deck. I assume they are going to probably assume that it's just a splash. What blue bombs are a splash in this? You could splash for Dream Eater. That's pretty good. You could splash for... there's not much blue removal. Blue is an odd splash to have, to be honest, but... Artful Takedown's okay to splash for. It's not the worst splash. Splashing for removal is fine, especially in a set where there's not very much of it. Okay. So we are going to just pass. Locket is fine. And a Rhizome Lurcher is a 5/5. Okay. Well, we have a way of dealing with that, so that's good. Okay, another Rhizome Lurcher. We are going to just hold up our mana. Our opponent is probably going to swing with the Rhizome Lurcher. Hopefully we're not going to see a lot less Giant right now. Right, so we're going to use the Artful Takedown because that is going to give us a trade. We will choose both. We're going to tap the Erstwhile Trooper out, and Rhizome Lurcher is going to get -2, -4. We're still going to lose our creature, but Rhizome Lurcher does get killed, which is good for us. And now we can find Broker to get our Dowser of Lights back. Unfortunately, we don't have the mana to play the Centipede as well, but we're going to just do it this way. They're probably going to crack their locket here, I would have thought. We're going to take the trade with the Erstwhile Trooper. Okay, so he was bluffing that he had another creature card in hand. As a Silent Dart, that's very good for us. We are going to probably play the Dowser of Lights as well. And just swing with the Fine Broker. Okie dokie. We won't take the trade because that's very bad for us. Another island's actually fine because we can still play the Silent Dart now. So we're going to swing with both of our creatures. District Guy's going to block to keep some stuff off the board. I'm expecting maybe a Lotleth Giant or something to come out, and then I'll be pretty worried, but... You might play like a Moodmark Painter or like a bigger Spore Worm, which we could handle because as the trigger goes on the stack, we can sack the dart in response. What is he looking for? Ocran Assassin and Rhizome Lurcher. Okay. Which one's he going to play? Generous Stray? Sure. One sec. Okie dokie, so we've got Ocran Assassin coming down as well. Now, here's the thing. We're slowly being beaten to death with Bartesian Bats. So do we Silent Dart the Bats, or do we Silent Dart the Ocran Assassin? Well, we don't have to make that call just yet. We will need to soon. And by soon, I mean now. So we're going to actually just kill the Ocran Assassin. Okay, another Dowser of Lights. I think we're going to swing all, because we need to put pressure on our opponent. Very badly. So yes, he will get a trade on the Dowser of Lights. Yes, he's going to have a huge Rhizome Lurcher. But we've got to get some damage in. And our Rhizome Lurchers need to get bigger as well. We're probably going to have to double block their Rhizome Lurcher because it's going to be huge. Oh, another Ocran Assassin? That's really bad. So we die, basically, unless we can find a piece of removal. That's a forest, so we just die, basically. We basically just die. So we've got to swing all. Okay. So, because our opponent blocked with the assassin, we're still in the game, but not really. What could save us? Undercity Uprising would do it. And we just lose, so gonna swing all again. Yep, so even though we didn't lose to them misplaying, we lost because we kept drawing land, which feels bad. Yeah, this draft's not going very well. We lost 2 games to just drawing land when we really needed to draw something better. Anyway, I'll be right back for our final couple of games. So I'll be out for about 5 minutes or so, okay? And then we'll be back to finish this draft off. Right, so my brother just got back from work, so I was just saying hello to him. We're going to continue to get our ass kicked on draft, and then I will probably call the stream there because I need something to eat, because it's getting a little on the late side and I haven't had dinner. And then I need to do some more stuff for the... this is fine, I guess. No, not really. It's fine. It's fine! With our luck of drawing loads and loads of lands we don't need, we'll be able to play all the cards in our hand. Our opponent mold. That's even better. Even better. So we're against Is It or Boros, one or the other. It's a Boros deck. There's a Boros Challenger. So we're going to get a good trade on the Boros Challenger with the Whisper Agent. So that's a plus. Flash this boy in. Swamp we do actually need, so we'll keep that on top. Cool, good trade. I'll take a Whisper Agent for a Boros Challenger. Legion Guildmage is not scary in the slightest. We're gonna just... No, we're not going to drop the Rise of Nurture. We're going to drop the Fine Broker, actually, and just take the Whisper Agent back. Not the most valuable recovery with Fine Broker, but it's fine. We're going to drop our Dowser of Lights. And just pass, because we don't want to attack into this, because they'll get a good trade. More 10. So their deck is pretty trash. Because 10th District Guards are not good cards in the slightest. So we're going to have this dude fight the Legion Guild Mage. And we have the Dowser of Lights just swing in, get some damage. Flash this bad boy in, get a Surveil. We don't want a Forest. We'll just put that in the bin. Golgari Locket is fine. Gonna go to combat and swing with everybody. That is absolutely fine. Rhizome Lurch is now actually playable, more or less. Face Recruit is not very good, so we're just going to pile the pressure on. Pile that pressure on. If our opponent swings, we're going to ignore them completely. Opponent doesn't swing, so we're going to Cruel Harpooner to kill the Parhelion Patrol. Donk. Cruel Harpooner dies. I'm going to drop a Forest, drop the Rhizome Lurcher as a 5/5, and smack our opponent in the face. And our opponent is dead. Just good game then, and GG. That was a nice quick game, wasn't it? Nice quick game. Ah, we've got some people in the chat now. Hello everybody. We're playing a pretty bad... Ooh, Ashes of the Boron. I mean, that's a nice sideboard card, right? Right. Yeah, we're playing some GRN Draft. Our first draft was a Boros deck that went pretty good. This deck is okay. It should be doing better than it is, but we keep drawing lots of land. We get to 5 mana so that we can play everything in our deck, and we get a couple of big threats down, and then we just draw land, and it feels bad. It feels pretty bad. Well, turn 1 Pelt Collector is a good sign. Good sign of a strong start. Our opponent's playing some sort of red deck. We get our Gateway Plaza down and go face. Face. Face, face, face. Oh, Rakdos. Rakdos? You're in the wrong block, my friend. I don't know what you're doing here, but you are in the wrong block. What's this? Oh, Direct Current. Okie dokie. That's fine, I suppose. Just going to pass. So all we need to do now is find one more land or an actual creature. Notion Rain is fine too. I'm going to surveil both into the bin, because we're going to find more land, right? We're going to find more land. Yeah. We'll find more land, so we'll just chuck all that in the bin and have a good time. Our opponent doesn't seem to like playing cards, so we're just going to slowly put stuff on the board. Ah, it's the other coffee. Yes, as I was saying, you just got back. But we have more than just you in the chat. There is somebody else lurking away, waiting for the right time to chip in. Oh, there's a Forest. Do I want to play Cruel Foragers right now? It's probably worth it. I can't see any reason to play the Centipede, so just drop the Cruel Foragers. And we will not swing with the Recluse, because there's quite literally no point. Maniacal Rage. Sure. So our opponent seems to be going all in on Goblin Locksmith. Cannot be blocked by defenders. Oh wow, we can't even block him full stop. We're going to take a whole 4 damage. Wow. 4 damage. There's some more blue mana. Let's drop Centipede, and we'll just have the Centipede fight the Goblin Locksmith. Donk. And we'll put that counter on top of the Recluse. And we'll just go face. Face. So this should be an easy win. Our opponent doesn't seem to really have anything worth playing, so... there's a Child of the Night, which is a bit worthless. And some more land. Don't know why they're playing Rakdos, that confuses me, but... Severed Strands? Yeah, Severed Strands, okay, fair enough. So they kill that, and Rhizome Lurcher gets big. Gets swole. Ritual Soot kills the Hitchclaw Recluse, and our opponent has no cards. So we're just going to drop a giant ass Rhizome Lurcher and beat them to death. We're actually going to drop the Cruel Harpooner as well, because we've got removal, and this puts them on 2-turn clock as opposed to a 3-turn clock. And they scoop it up. In response, we go up to Silver rank 2. Cool, so the actual deck is picking up now. Now we're playing against bad decks at 2 losses. Because our deck is also bad. Haha. H-A-H-A-A. Nah, it's not that bad, really. I think the deck's fine. It just had some bad games, so we just kept drawing land and no gas. And there was multiple cards in our deck that we could have drawn. Like, we had maybe 4 or 5 options of our remaining, 20 cards that we could have drawn that would have been useful. And for, 3 turns to just draw land. So, this is fine? Question mark? Yeah, this seems fine. This is less fine. This is more fine. We're going to drop the... We're not going to play the blue mana until we're on turn 4, because otherwise it doesn't counter anything anyway. So... Our opponent has a flyer. No, it's a Goblin Locksmith. Okay, so we're going to just drop the Cruel Harpooner now. I know it doesn't get a trade with, say, a Sky Knight Legionnaire or something, but it's still fine. It still gives us something on the board. And we can always use Prey Upon so it can fight something else. Lead of Guardian. Okay. That's fine as well. Probably should have dropped... No, actually our opponent has only got 2 mana, so yeah. What are they going to play now? We will just not block those. Taking 4 is fine. We don't like it when Boros is attacking us, but it's okay. Yeah, we're going to need something a bit beefier. Centipede's fine, because at least we can start getting some trades in. And in fact, if we were to Prey Upon and have this fight the Shieldmate, put the counter on Harpooner, no attacks. Now our opponent can't swing at us unless they have, combat tricks. And once Boros can't swing at you anymore, that's fine. Aha! Take this. So our opponent's sort of out of luck now, because they can't swing through the Dowser of Lights, and we're just going to slowly attrition them down. Oh, there's another one. Another one. Wojak Bodyguard. Doesn't matter. So we're going to just hold up our mana, because we don't actually need to attack, and we could, Disdainful Stroke something big and scary. And everything on his board is basically made irrelevant, so... Artful Takedown, that's good as well. We're going to just hold it up. Just going to hold it up. Now, he could mentor with the Wojak Bodyguard, but he just gets bad trades, so... If our opponent ever attacks, we can use Artful Takedown to mess up whatever combat tricks he's got in plan. Or planned. We're going to just drop the Dissident and hold up Disdainful Stroke. And Dissident will be its own built-in combat trick, so that's good. Command the Storm? Yeah, no thanks. No thanks, sir. I'd rather you didn't. Command storms or otherwise. Opponent's going to swing? He's thinking about it. Okay, no he's not. Drop Hired Poisoner. And we will wait. If the Boros deck just wants to wait and hang around for me to draw bigger creatures, then they're quite welcome to. Like so. What we're going to do here is pass. Pass. My turn. That's more land. That's exactly what we wanted. And we will Severed Strands, target Swath Cutter, and sack the Hired Poisoner. Donk. And pass. Arclight Phoenix. Okie dokie. Well, Cruel Harpooner's got reach, so I can just chuck the Cruel Harpooner under it. Righteous Blow. I'm so confused. So confused. But don't look a gift horse in the mouth, as they say. What we're going to do is we're going to swing with one Dowser of Light and see if our opponent double blocks it, and then we get good trades. They don't, so we just get 4 damage to the face and end turn. And we'll just slowly beat down this Boros player. Slowly but surely. Unless he's got like a Cosmotronic Wave, which he'd have to play now. Maniacal Rage, okay. So he's going to swing with the Wojak Bodyguard, so he's getting ready for a big smash. Smashing with everything. What's he mentoring onto? Onto the letter of Guardian, okay. Resolve. He's going to get -2, -4. Has our opponent got any more tricks? Hopefully he doesn't, but he might do. Chance for Glory? Oh dear, that's not good. And a Righteous Blow, wow. Are we dead? I think we might be dead to Chance of Glory, which is going to feel real bad. We're dead by 1 HP, aren't we? I think we just lost a Chance to Glory, or Chance for Glory. Yeah, we just lost a Chance for Glory. That feels genuinely very bad. That feels very, very bad. Oh well. Never mind. What do we get for it? 300 gems. Could be worse. Oh, we got an extra pack though. The extra pack makes me feel good about that, so not too bothered. Basically, I paid 5,000 gold for 300 gems, which is, you know, not bad. Extra Niv Mizzet's pretty good. We're getting this one, and we get another Trostani. I'm fairly sure I must have 4 Trostanis now. I must have. Do I want to play another one? Well, I do need to go out now. Do I draft another? You know what? I'm going to hold on to my gold and wait until the next draft rotates in, because I don't mind Guilds of Ravnica drafts, but it's not like one of my favourite draft sets. It's a bit eh. I prefer to play Allegiances, which is, oh yeah, traditional draft. I might actually start one. Nah, let's not start one. Nah, let's not do that. Let's save that for another day. Right, so yeah, pretty short session today. Hopefully for those of you that were around for the earlier Boros draft, you liked that, because that was pretty good. The Golgari, Sultai thing, not so good, but we still went 3 wins and got 2 packs, so it's fine, I would say. Not too bad. I will be probably streaming tomorrow. I've got to do some YouTube videos tonight, so if you haven't seen the channel already, go check it out. Got some good stuff on there. I will be uploading some more of my Civilization 4 series tonight or tomorrow, one or the other, probably tonight. And I'll also be uploading a Stellaris series as well. Oh yes, because I haven't really played much of the Stellaris, the latest set expansion, Megacorp. But I've just started, and it's good fun. So I'm going to be uploading that as well. And I will also begin streaming For Honor soon. Oh yes, For Honor. Good old fighting games. Got to learn some of the new characters still, because I haven't played it in a while. So it's a little bit alien to me. But I'm picking it up pretty fast again. You know, fighting games are like learning to ride a bicycle. You never forget your combos, really. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for coming along. Goodbye.